Hello there, everybody. My name is Waddles, and I hope you're doing well. I'm standing in between a troll and a goblin at the beginning of today's video, and that was all done via Datapacks. Today, I have an awesome data pack to show you that adds 21, 21 new creatures into the 1.13 vanilla version of the game. No mods needed at all. This data pack is called Creatures Plus. Now these are all mobs that will spawn in the wild in your game too, and many have custom loot tables and abilities, which is super cool. If you couldn't tell, I really like this pack. It was created by Brongast14. I will link Brongast's channel as well as the pack itself down below. So if you enjoy anything you're seeing in this video, make sure you definitely go check out the pack and even the creator's channel. Also, if you like this video, make sure you drop a like on the video and help me out, and make sure you tell the creator of this data pack that you like what he has done, because a lot of the time the creators of these things don't get a lot of nice words. So definitely go and tell the creator that you like the pack and you think it's pretty cool, if that's the case. Now, real quick, I'd like to talk about the method for this video, because there are 24 creatures that I'm actually showing off, not just 21. I went ahead before the video and set up all of these little containing cells. They're all organized by where you will find each mob, and I went ahead and did 3 kills on each mob. Like, I spawned one and killed it, spawned another and killed it, and so I have some loot laid out in the chest here. Of course, the diamond sword isn't the loot here, but this loot is not the only loot. It's just the loot that I got from the 3 kills. The numbers aren't even exact either, so what I'm saying is that there could potentially be different loot or more loot than is being shown in the chest. The left sign has the mob information, so the name, the biome, and its rarity. The right sign has a quote about the mob in concern that I got from the description of Brongast's trailer for the Creatures Plus data pack. So right here we have a frozen zombie that is found in the Arctic. He's got ice all over his head and hands, and he's a little bit stronger than the normal zombie. And it seems that this zombie drops snow-related things when they drop things. Ice and snowballs, which is kind of cool. The zombie doesn't seem to attack any differently. It's just a zombie that is frozen, as if it's pretty cold, you know, from the Arctic biome. Next up, we have the Frozen Creeper, another Arctic mob that drops Arctic items again, and it explodes slowly but huge. Now, I haven't tested that out yet, and I think I'm going to have to go back here and test that out for science. So let's find out what explodes slowly but huge means. This is probably going to kill me, and oh no, I heard that. Let's just wait. Oh no. I died. Oh boy, that is way bigger than the normal explosion. I see what slowly but hugely means now. Next up, we have a really cool mob that is called the Yeti. Look at this thing. This thing is adorable, but also kind of concerning. The blank expression on the face is just kind of scary. Like, is it going to kill me or is it not? Now, it's an Arctic mob, of course, rare and strong and tough. So this thing is going to take a little bit more hits to kill than, I guess, like a skeleton or a zombie. Just a little bit, though. It's not as crazy as some of the mobs that I will show you later on in this video. But this thing is crazy tall, too. So I don't know, probably not something that I want to come across in the wild and fight, right? Now, this is where I have a feeling that I might be wrong with the drop, because I've only gotten zombie flesh from this guy each time I've killed him. Maybe that is the case, I don't know though. Moving on over here, we have an Illusioner, which is one of the mobs in this data pack, but of course, this isn't a new mob at all. This has been in the game. The change here is that this guy will spawn in the Arctic biomes now. Now, it won't be a common spawn, but this is just your typical Illusioner. Nothing different really about the guy at all, and I haven't gotten any drops from the Illusioner. But it is kind of nice to see this mob that is kind of unused, if you will, in the game, being used a little bit more. Definitely matches the Arctic biome as well with the whole blue outfit. What happened to my ice over there? That's just gone now, but that's it for the Arctic mobs. So moving on to our jungle mobs now. First off, we have the overgrown zombie that drops zombie flesh and vines, which is pretty cool. Now, this is a common mob, of course, found in the jungle. Not much else to say about it, though. I really, really do like the texture on the face and, of course, the vines hanging off of this guy. It's really creepy, and it definitely fits the whole jungle biome theme, right? Like, if you came across this guy in the jungle, that'd be a little spooky. And look, right there, I got a slime ball, so that's what I'm talking about with the drops being kind of uncertain. I think that's actually a really nice way to get a slime ball. Now, moving on right next door to the overgrown skeleton. Just like the overgrown zombie, this is a jungle mob that will spawn, and it's got vines all over it. Right there is this jungle skeleton. It looks like some camouflage skeleton. I don't know, I just think of some sniper or something in the army, and it's like, you can't see me, but you totally can see this guy. And then finally for the jungle mobs, we have the jungle mite. Now this jungle mite is tiny and probably very, very dangerous. Now the thing with this little mob here is that it will poison you when you hit it. Now as you can hear, there's baby zombies, so this mob moves fast. It was probably like skinned or something over a baby zombie. Now this is common too in the jungle, and this is one where I'd like to test. I'd like to flip over into survival and see, oh, forgot about the skeleton. Let's try it again. Okay, so let's just, I guess, jump in. Oh, they like rush you and hit you, and then when we hit it, I guess it's good. Oh, yep, there's poison right there. That's kind of insanely dangerous. So that's pretty dangerous. I could totally see that thing sneaking up on you. That could be really, really bad if your volume is off. But moving past the jungle, we are into the caves. These are mobs that will spawn in caves. First off, we have the Cavern Wanderer, which is really cool, and it's hard to see and tough like stone. Now, the drops of this thing, real quick, are ores, which is super, super cool, and the mob looks so cool. Imagine coming across this in a cave. This would totally be super hard to see. If we look at it with the stone behind it, and let's say it's dark as well, this guy is going to blend in like crazy, and as you just saw there, he has more health than the normal zombie, so kind of dangerous. Next up, we have, of course, the Goblin that I was standing in front of in the beginning of the video, and look at the loot table on this guy. Now, of course, this isn't the only loot you could get from the Goblin too, which is insane. I got all that stuff from killing 3 goblins. So right here is a goblin, and if I take a swing at the goblin, look at all of this stuff that drops. Beetroot seeds, horse armor, melon seeds, string, gunpowder. That's crazy. The drops on this are insane. And then right here, I have an enchanted book as well from the Goblin. So I'd like to do a little experiment again and show off the Goblin right here. So here we go. We'll let him hit us. And ooh, that's a lot of damage right there. Now, I know, of course, I didn't. That is probably not. Oh, no, that's not good. Now, what I was going to say is that I know I didn't fully let my health regen, but these guys, they're kind of strong. That is definitely dangerous. Super cool. But let's kill all of these goblins, see what kind of loot we get here. I can see that is crazy. That's tons and tons of loot. Of course, the sword and the chicken is mine, and they did not drop the spawn eggs, but all of that stuff, that's crazy. Moving on over, we have the troll that was standing behind me in the beginning of the video right here. Kinda similar to the Goblin, but a little taller. And I must say, I really love these custom skins on some of these creatures. This really, really makes it. And ooh, he's strong. No. Very strong. Probably not going to be fun if this guy sneaks up on you, as well as the Goblin. But I see that this is a stronger version of the Goblin, or at least it kind of seems like it, because the loot table is pretty much similar. Now, it's not the same, but it has tons of drops from this thing. But yep, like I was saying, I really love the custom skins that the creator of this pack has added on to some of these creatures. Right here we have the Shadow. Now the Shadow is a little different. You cannot contain the Shadow in a little container because it flies. Now, again, this is another cave mob, just like the Goblin and the Troll and the Cavern Wanderer. But this thing is crazy difficult to hit. Now, if I could hit it, it only takes 3 hits to kill. You have to swing at the front of this little soaring little cloud, if you will. And it only takes 3 hits to kill, if you can kill it. Or I think I got 2 in there. So I guess 2 that time. And again, I think it is experiment time. So here we go. There is one shadow, and it comes at me. Let's see. I want to get hit by it. Okay, so a heart and a half, not that bad. And again, if you can time your hits at the front of this thing, it's not as bad, really. And you got to remember, you'll be in an enclosed space too, so it should make it a little easier. You won't have this thing flying literally all over the place, which makes it a whole lot harder because, of course, here I am flying, having to kill this thing. And that was 2 hits again, so maybe I was completely wrong. Maybe it is 2 hits each time. Now, I have not gotten a single thing from the shadow when I have killed it each time, so maybe there's no drops there. Now, finally, we have the Ooze, which is a cave and swamp mob, and it is rare. This is the Ooze. Totally awesome looking. I really, really like what's going on here. This thing is like semi-transparent, which is super, super cool. Now, again, this is a mob that I was not getting any drops from, and it doesn't have all that much health, but we'll go ahead and let it hit us and just kind of see what happens. Now, again, of course, I don't have full health, and ooh, it's fast, and it barely does anything, or no, I think it did a heart and a half to us. Moving on from the caves into the swamp mobs that we have laid out here. First off, we have the decaying zombie, which is a zombie variant that is rather weak. Now, this is a common mob, and the skin of this mob is only slightly different from the zombie. The head is kind of falling apart, which is a nice touch for the decaying zombie that also has less health than the normal zombie. The drops, or I should say drop, seems to only be rotten flesh coming from this decaying zombie. Next up, we have the funniest one of all of these mobs that I'm showcasing today, the Deadlock. This is a swamp mob. It is common, and it has hair. Now, it's a skeleton with hair. Look at that. There is dreadlocks on this skeleton. I think that's totally awesome. I don't know if the skeleton is a little taller than normal. It kind of seems like it, but that might just be my imagination. And it does have a sword, but it seems to drop normal skeleton drops. So I wanted to flip into survival here and see. Does this guy shoot us? Nope, he's gonna run at us and hit us with his sword, and he's gonna kill me. Or not. Or not, I saved myself that time. Now, this mob is really cool. You might think it's a normal creeper, but it is in fact a poisoned creeper. A common swamp mob that releases poison when you hit it. So right here, we take a swing at the creeper, and boom. Poison. That's really cool. So, of course, if you were to step near the creeper after the poison was released, you would get poisoned, which is no good at all. It kind of reminds me of a skunk, honestly, but it's super cool. A nice little twist on a creeper, and this would be a nasty surprise if you were creeper hunting, even though I suppose normally you will swing at a creeper and then back up from it, but if you're charging in full steam ahead at the creeper, that might end badly. And finally, we have the Hidden, a rare swamp mob that hides in the ground and bites you. This is really, really cool. So I spawned it in, and it looks like there's nothing at all. However, if I start to run around in here, we see the thing jump out of the ground at us, which is evil. It's like literally jumping out of the ground and trying to bite us, which is super cool. Now, from my experience, it's kind of easy to kill. You just gotta kind of swing at the particle effects on the ground wherever it is, and then boom, it's dead like that within 3 hits. And I didn't really get any loot from this Hidden. Also, real quick, the creeper just drops normal gunpowder, the poison creeper. Moving on from the swamp into the hot desert, of course, we have the Mummy. The Mummy is awesome. It's a zombie variant. It's rare. And look at it. It's all wrapped up. Now, when you killed the Mummy, it only drops wool and string, which kind of makes sense. Now, I am kind of assuming it's a zombie variant because it kind of sounds like it, but I suppose I'm not 100% sure on that because it doesn't drop zombie flesh, or it doesn't seem to, at least. Next up, we have the Desert Archer, a common desert mob, has normal skeleton drops in here, and it looks like that. It has some worn clothing on, pretty much, and yeah, a Desert Archer, which is kind of cool. There isn't too much else to say about the Desert Archer. It's just another mob that kind of fills out the desert a little bit more, which is definitely a nice thing to have, in my opinion. Next up, we have the Scorched Creeper that is going to require an experiment. Now, this is a common desert mob, and interestingly, the creepers that I killed dropped ice as well as sand. I don't know if the ice is meant to happen or what, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Now, this creeper explodes instantly, so it's the opposite of the snow creeper that we saw in the beginning of the video, and I want to experiment with this one. So we're going to switch over into survival and just run at this creeper. Oh no. Well, I see what instantly means now. That is quite literally instantly. And did we pick up sand from that, or did I have the sand? I don't think I had the sand. The explosion seems to be tiny. I don't know if that's just because I have quartz here. Well, that's really dangerous. You will definitely need a bow to kill the Scorched Creeper because I was not getting anywhere near that guy at all. But moving on, we have the sand mite here, which I really love the texture or the skin of. Look at this thing. It looks nasty. Doesn't have a whole lot of health here. If I take a swing at it, 2 hits and it's gone. And I got some sand from it. So there we go. That's the first time I've gotten a drop from these guys. And I'd like to, again, experiment and see what the sand mite does. Oh, it charges at you. Oh, okay. And it doesn't do a whole lot of health, but it charges. So again, we got a little bit more sand. So there we go. That is the sand mite. Moving on, right next door, we have the sand hag, which is rare and has a whole lot of health. This thing is crazy. Right here are the drops that I've gotten from killing 3 of these. And look at it. It is awesome looking. Now, Brongas says that this is a stronger witch, and this thing keeps throwing potions. I didn't even take a swing at this thing, and it's throwing potions. Now, the thing with the hag is that it has a whole lot of health. From my experiments, it took like 14 or 15 swings at this hag each time to kill it, and that is with a diamond sword. Now, of course, it's unenchanted, but I don't think I want to come across that thing in the wild at all. Now, that was a lot of health, and seeing as witches are already pretty strong, I don't think it's going to be fun to come across the hag in the desert at all, especially while you're just exploring. I could only imagine early game with this thing. That would be the end right there. But moving from the desert on over to the forest, we have our final few mobs here. First off, we have the Ent, which of course is a giant tree monster. This thing is totally awesome, and I feel like I've seen this texture somewhere. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I absolutely love it. Now, like the hag, it has a whole lot of health as well, so probably not a fun thing to come across, especially early game. It drops all sorts of tree things and is pretty strong. It almost looks like an iron golem, but I really like the texture here, and I love the concept of this mob. This definitely makes the forest a little bit more scary, which would totally be cool to see, except when I'm trying to get my first pieces of wood early game, that's probably not going to be very exciting to come across one of those. Now, finally, we have the killer bunny or the killer rabbit, whichever you would like to call it. And this is another mob that is in the game already. It has typical bunny drops. It's rare. It spawns in the forest. And it doesn't have a whole lot of health, just like that. However, if we go ahead and flip into survival, watch what happens when this bunny doesn't... Yeah, it's pretty strong. Now, like I said, the killer bunny actually already is in the game, so you could find it, but it is pretty rare. And that pretty much sums up all of the things in the Creatures Plus data pack. However, there are a few more things that I found in this pack from looking through the function commands. First off, we have the Shadow Blade, which is plus 100 attack speed and plus 6 attack damage. If I am correct about this, I believe that means you can pretty much like spam this thing and do a bunch of damage. Now, I might be wrong in that. I'm not 100% sure. And then plus 6 attack damage. Now, for comparison, Right here we have a diamond sword that has 7 attack damage, and then if we take out a normal iron sword, we have 6 attack damage. So it's the same exact attack damage as an iron sword. However, the 100 attack speed is crazy. Not sure really how you would get this sword in the data pack. However, there is a function command to give yourself the sword. And I've also found the Druid, which is another mob in this data pack. Now, I have no information on it. I assume this is a rare thing. It looks like it would be pretty rare. Maybe this is like a desert mob. I'm not too sure. And I'm also not too sure of the strength, because when I was trying to kill this thing, I was randomly teleported across the map eventually. Now, I don't know if that was just a freak thing. Nope. That's what happens. I get teleported super far from this druid, and then I come back to find him and kill it, and it is not here, so I don't know. Now, I thought about maybe taking the shadow blade and killing it because we can swing faster, but I believe that nothing different happens. I still got teleported when I tried that, just like I did there again. So I'm not too sure what's up with the druid, where to find it, how rare it is, or if it's even really fully in the data pack, but it is in here. So that's about it. I apologize if I messed anything up or if I missed anything, but if you enjoyed this data pack or the video in general of the data pack, you should definitely check out Brongast14's channel and download the pack for yourself. If you are downloading it and trying to install it, there are install instructions in the zip file that you'll download. Of course, all of this stuff will be linked down below. Now, if you want to spawn this stuff in and do something like I did in this world here, I used the /function command. Type /function and then do a space, and then you have all of this CPP things. This is what you are looking for. You want to use these commands to summon them in or give yourself spawn eggs. That is exactly how I did it in this video right here. I have a spawn egg for the Ent. Now go down below and tell me, what is your favorite mob in the Creatures Plus data pack? Honestly, for me, it's either got to be the Ent or the Hag. Both of those mobs are super cool. The Druid is cool too, but I mean, I can't kill it, so I don't know. Leave a like on this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. That stuff helps me out a lot. And if you have a pack, or if you know of a pack that you'd like to see me showcase, go tell me down below. If you'd like to support me directly, I do have a Patreon that is linked in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Waddles, and I will see you next time. Go have a good day. Goodbye, everyone.